Trading stocks, futures, options on futures, and retail off-exchange foreign currency transactions involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your circumstances, knowledge, and financial resources. You may lose all or more of your initial investment. Opinions, market data, and recommendations are subject to change at any time.
All right, good day, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 25th, hump day of trading, and what a day it's been in the market. Wow. If you're a bear, you've had opportunity. If you're a bull, you've had opportunity. You can't ask for really much better trading days than we got today. Just if you look at where we came from and where we went to, wow, didn't it? Straight off the pivot, straight down. Then around 10 a.m. Eastern time, we had the Bank of Canada rate decision. Mixed results, we popped a new low. And then all after that, straight back up to the pivot. So pretty amazing kind of day today. It's one of those days where you just stay on the side of the trend and you're in good shape. Short these pops on the way down. And when that tide changes, you get long on the pullbacks. Really good day. But that's not why I'm really here. Why I'm really here in live right now is, well, as you know, Apex Trader Funding has made just some amazing changes the last couple months, starting back just before Thanksgiving. Changes that are significant in the trader funding industry that sets them apart by a very long shot, in my opinion. And I reached out to Darrell and asked if he would do an interview so I could talk about those changes, get to know Darrell a little bit, and we got a little sneak peek of what may be coming in the next few months toward the end of the interview. And I think you'll be happy with what Darrell says is coming. So last thing before I get to the interview is Darrell is sponsoring a 50K giveaway of an evaluation account. In order to qualify for that account, you just need to join the Apex Trader Funding Facebook group. The link to that group is below. Here's the group right here. Once you come in, what you want to do is look for this posting, Apex Trader New Group Giveaway. Apex is sponsoring the 50K evaluation count. I asked the question to qualify. You need to leave a comment in the post. The question is, will the S&P break the October 22 lows this year in 2023? Make your post below. We've had so far, it looks like 48 comments come in. Get your post in, and on Saturday at, I think 3 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to do a Facebook Live, and a random winner in this group will have a chance at an evaluation. And it's a good chance to, good odds for winning, because I just started this group. Right now, there's only like 217 members in here, and only 48 comments at the moment. I suspect by Saturday, probably be around 60, 70 comments. So you have a very good high odds of potentially winning this 50K account. So without further ado, let me get to the interview that I just completed with Darrell. I will come back and wrap it up, and we'll go from there. All right, here comes the interview. All right. Hello, Darrell. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm glad. I asked if you would join for an interview, and thank you for doing so. I certainly wanted to cover. There's been a lot going on in the last few months with Apex.
Yeah.
It's been a great 2022, and you've made some game-changing updates to your product that is more favorable to us retail traders who are looking to be funded.
Yeah. I'm always trying to, basically make it like the program that I would want if I was being funded. So
Yeah. Before we get into that, though, I do want to learn just a little bit more about yourself.
yeah, what you got?
Well, what are some of your just overall personal goals? Maybe 2023 or further down the line. Do you just have any specific personal goals?
Well, I lost 85 pounds last year.
Okay.
And so I want to lose another 50 this year.
All right.
And just continue to spend more time with family, so.
Okay. Well, congratulations on the 85 pounds.
Yeah.
I've had weight problems my entire life, and I've lost 100 pounds, put back 75, I'll take off 40. And it jumps around. It's a lifelong process that.
Yes, it is.
For me. Are there any recent changes that's gone on in your life?
Nothing major. We're starting to invest in real estate properties. So got some VRBOs, like one in the Virgin Islands, one in Colorado. So that's pretty exciting.
Wow.
Went to a big men's retreat called Rise Up Kings. That was amazing, life-changing. It's really taught me how to be in the moment, and enjoy life more and be more pliable. But yeah, that's sort of what I got right there.
Okay. And well, since I'm starting Apex, it goes back to you starting the Apex investing site, and then it's kind of turned in now to an additional, the funding site. What are any lessons that you may have learned along the way?
For myself or for traders or?
I would say for yourself.
Well, I'd say we're doing the right thing. One thing that I was big on when I started Apex investing, which I was actually hesitant to do, one of my friends kept asking me to start it. So, because I was making videos for my daughter, so she'd know how to trade.
Mm-hmm.
And when she was just a baby, and he asked for the videos, and then he wanted me to make a website, and I was like, no. And finally, I was like, okay, if we're gonna make a website, then I want to make one like I would have wanted it when I was starting out as a trader. And so that's how I started Apex investing, put it together that way. That's why it's like free for a month. The second month's like it's $1. It gives you 2 months to try the entire thing out for $1.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just a couple $100 a month after that. There's not some big $10,000, then buy this next $10,000 course and all that stuff. So doing the right thing, trying to, and I think we've grown a lot because of that. Is just making sure that continue to serve traders and try to do the best thing you can do within your business parameters to make it the best thing for the customer.
Okay, great. All right, so let's dive into some of the questions I've got. So in late November, around Thanksgiving, early December, you made just a lot of changes that benefit us, the traders. Can you go over some of those main highlights of those changes?
Yeah. So one of the changes we did was we made it to where you get the first 25,000 instead of just the first 10, and we do it per account instead of per trader, which most companies do per trader. So that's really to let traders come in and really, recoup any capital that they've spent. And also just to, try to be the best offering that's out there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
We've always had the 90%. So since we started, so it's 90% after that first 25,000 per account. And then we went in and we shortened the amount of time it takes to pass an evaluation from 10 days to only 7 days.
Right.
We found that a lot of people passed within 7 days. We didn't really need those extra 3 days on there. And then we went in and changed the payouts from being 25 days to your first payout to being just 10 days to your first payout. And that's been huge. People have really liked that. And 10 days between payouts. So we're actually doing 2 payouts a month, and a trader can actually receive 2 payouts a month. And we saw some companies out there that say 2 payouts a month, but with the rules they have, you can't really get 2 payouts a month. And we're okay, let's make it where it's really 2 payouts a month. We had over $1.2 million withdrawn this month.
Yeah.
Already. So, which we were averaging like about 400 or 500 before. So now we're, it's moving up, and we're getting people withdrawing a lot more, which is awesome to see. let's see what else we've done. So much stuff.
The one of the bigger ones that it was kind of your second change was the one-time payment, which is
yeah, we implemented the one-time PA fee. There was a lot of demand for that. There's like, I don't know, about half a dozen companies doing it. And so, I was sort of against it at first. I'm like, it's so much more money. What if they blow it and everything else? But a lot of people just really, really wanted it. And so I was like, well, if we're going to do it, we're not going to charge an exorbitant amount. And we're going to make it, where it's an option, not a requirement. So that's why we went with, we still have the monthly option, but then we have, sort of the more expensive one-time fee, but it's cheaper if it lasts several months, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So, or maybe even 2 months, depending upon which plan you're doing. But yeah, we put that out there, and I'd say about 2/3 of people are actually choosing the one-time payment option. So people really are liking it.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I like the one-time payment option, and I just did some little calculations. If you keep your account 4 or 5 years, you save thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With the one-time option. So it's definitely in the long run, if you can sustain your PA account, it's definitely a good way to go.
Yeah.
But I did have one specific question about the change, and this is the one that blew me away. And this was when you changed keeping the first $10,000 to $25,000. I thought it was a typo. I was like, that's not right. Something's wrong there. So, I mean, 15K, 20K would have just been crazy and positive. You more than doubled it. What kind of brought you to 25K?
Me and John were just going through the numbers and figuring everything out. And I was like, let's just make it a number that's just way above what anybody's doing. And I mean, it didn't cost us that much. It cost us like $1,500 of the next 15K, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's just pay that out and pay out 100% and just be like the literal best deal out there by like a mile. And so that's why we did it.
Oh, well, it's by more than a mile. It's you more than doubled yours, and thank you for that. That's great.
Yeah.
So now that 22 is over, I know I see things about your payouts. What were your totals that you paid out in the year 2022? Do you have that yet?
Yeah, I had it up. We paid out about $7 million in 2022. So, which is more than any funding company has ever paid out in any futures funding company has ever paid out in a single year. And so that was pretty exciting. And we're on track to look like we're going to double that this year, at least, if not more.
Wow. Very
good. Which is the whole goal. I mean, that's why we started Apex Trader Funding, was to find good traders and, pay them out. And so that's why we try to make our rules as simple as possible, as easy as possible. And, like I said, we're paying out tons of people. We just had to process like 334 payouts, like just for this most recent 2-week period. So, and that was like 600 grand or something. So it was awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah. So this is kind of, this is something to go. I know you're very busy. And like you said, you've got some homes that you had bought for VRBOs, and you seem to be traveling. You got workshops going on, and what's a typical day like for you? Because I see you monitoring in my Facebook group, commenting, answering questions. You're in your own group, you're in your own pages, and you're in other, affiliate groups, answering for them as well.
Yeah.
I have a hard time keeping up with everything just in my group. What's a typical day like for you?
Well, I start out in the morning, I work out, I eat a healthy breakfast, I pray, I journal, and then I basically hit the markets right after that. So I head on over and I trade for maybe an hour or two every day.
Wow.
And then once I'm done trading, then I start hopping on all the social media and everything else, and messages and help desk stuff that I need. Get caught up on that, and then I'll check usually social media a few times throughout the day. Mm-hmm. And I'm in quite a few groups, and so I like to put myself out there and be available for questions and answer them. So just to be transparent and accessible. So
right. Well, it sounds like you've got a pretty good routine going there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one thing that does sometimes not get as much talked about is the Apex investing site. And I know for new traders or someone who doesn't have a strategy, there's a couple of, I guess items in there. One is called the simplicity and the other is called sniper trades.
Right.
What if you're a new trader, should one start with simplicity or sniper, or like, tell me a little bit about it.
Okay. So, just to mention, I sort of mentioned this already, is, it is free for the first month.
Mm-hmm.
And the second month is $1, and then it's $200 a month after that, or you can buy a lifetime, membership, whatever, depending upon what you want to do. And there's no credit card the first month at all.
Right.
I've had brand new traders. I've had experienced floor traders that have come on and they love the strategy. It's very objective. It's if this happens, then this, then this. So we teach you the entire strategy. We give you all the tools, and we have the trading room that goes into, has actual, traders that I've trained are actually helping lead the room, and I'm in there sometimes as well. And I would say you need to start with the sniper strategy because it teaches you how to read the market.
Okay.
And how to read, order flow and footprints, which we combine into one thing called order prints, and we rewrote it and we made it a lot simpler with our algorithms, to where it's ABC equals buy or ABC equals sell, with exact entry price, exact exit price. And I think you need to read that because it'll help you if you want to trade simplicity. It'll help you be more effective at trading that. Simplicity is going to go for those bigger trades, but you don't need a lot of big trades to make a lot of money. So you just need consistent trades,
Right.
And a few of them a day. 30 ticks can add up to a lot of money if you just multiply your contracts slowly over time.
Right.
So I tell people to start off with sniper, and once you get that down, then go to simplicity because it'll help you be a better simplicity trader.
Okay, that's one of my goals for 23 is to promote your Apex investing site a little more often than I do now, because I know it just kind of gets sometimes set aside, and because everybody's wanting to know when's the discount coming for the funded site. But we have so many new traders that I think they need to keep knowing there's a place that they can go to start and help them out.
And one of our best traders, Vince, who got paid out over $1 million last year, he uses Apex investing. So.
Right. Okay. Well, do you look at, do you recommend traders to trade any micros over the minis?
I think micros are a fantastic way to trade. So it keeps your risk low. It allows you to have a little bit more swing and pullback, and they can make plenty of money. I mean, they may not make thousands in a day, unless you're doing way too many of them. But I mean, if you make a few $100 a day, that's very doable with micros,
Right.
And I think a lot of traders would be a lot better off trading micros. So it's just a matter of patience, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I just started this this last week doing a little copy trading, and I was afraid to do it at first because it just seems like it's kind of difficult or risky type of thing. But so what I did is I used M&Q, and I was just going for 40 ticks, which is $20. And I was testing over 3 accounts, but that $20 is a $60 trade when you use 3 accounts. And
exactly
to get 40 ticks in M&Qs, pretty easy to do. It's not too difficult. But so that's where I was kind of like, wow, I finally get the multiple accounts thing of how I don't have to risk a lot, but I can divide it over accounts. And really, it adds up quite a bit.
Right, exactly.
And that was using micros. So I've been using micros the past week or so, testing, and then if I feel like I'm comfortable enough with it, I'll move to minis with it. But micros was definitely a good way to start for those multiple accounts.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I think micros are a great way to start out.
All right, next question. Do you what are some of the common things that you see from your side when traders are blowing up? I've blown up accounts, and I know exactly what it is for that I blow it up, but what do you see?
I say they trade too large. They try to make the money too fast, instead of trading at a smaller size and making it over time. And then they revenge trade. They get in a downward spiral, and they just keep trading, trying to make it back, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse. And they'll blow a nice profit on an account that they've been working on, and they'll blow it all in one day or 30 minutes just because they go real large trying to make it back, or they just hold on to trades not wanting to lose.
Yep.
They hold on to trades that are winners, not wanting to make more instead of like being happy with the profits they made, you know? And one of the things I teach in my psychology course on trading is winners are never satisfying. You know, you could have always made more if you held on to it, or you could have made more if you would have got out, or and you just have to accept that they're not going to be satisfying. You just got to be satisfied with having a profitable trade. And so I'd say most of it is psychology. Psychology and risk management is really the two biggest issues that I see traders have issues with.
Yes, definitely.
Because, you know, and so the risk management, you know, we talk about that in our 6-3 strategy over at Apex Investing. And then the psychology I talk about on the Mind Mastery page of Apex Investing. So
right.
Try to do everything I can to help out traders, give them what they need. But it's funny is the psychology course is probably the least purchased course we have.
Huh.
And but it's, I would say, the most important course we have.
Right. Well, yeah. Yeah, and psychology is when you have your hand on that mouse all the time, it just wants to click. That's one thing that gets me. And and the two things that get me in trouble the most is if it's a trending day and I keep maybe trying to add to a trade to get something back, and then it's trend and it never comes back. I've had blownouts from that.
Right.
And the second thing is if I get down $400 or $500 for the day, I want to add contracts on the next trade. Like, okay, instead of doing one contract, well, we'll do 4 contracts and we'll get it back in 1 or 2 trades. And then, well, now
you don't get it back. And then it's like,
yeah,
boom.
and then the next time I'm like, okay, I'll go 7 contracts. And then I've blown out. That's kind of that revenge trading thing you mentioned. So
that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And that's
we've all been there.
Like we know not to do it, but our head is not always in that right space.
Yeah.
That we need it to be.
Yeah.
Question I had, you have talked about your PA accounts, how you eventually move some of the good traders from the sim to the live account.
Yeah.
What are type of things that you look for moving people from sim into live accounts?
Are they aware of news? Are they trading during the news? Like not the news, but trading during the news? Mm-hmm. Because it's amazing how many traders go, I didn't know there was news. It's like, well, that's a problem, right? Yeah. We don't want you in a live account if you don't even know what the news calendar is. We look at to see if they are pretty consistent in their sizes, you know, or are they like doubling down, like you talked about, stuff like that. Are they willing to take a loss for a day and stop? Like, we don't mind them having losing days, but do they stop when they're down like a decent proportion of when they're up when they stop, right?
Right.
Are they trading 8 hours a day? That's not a good sign. That's probably somebody who's going to blow their account.
Okay. That's one you don't hear too often. That's a good one to know.
Yeah. Just because, I mean, you get mentally and emotionally fatigued and tired. You're going to make bad decisions the longer you trade.
Right.
And then, you know, are they consistent? Does their equity curve look consistently, you know, going up? So not in a straight line, but, you know, like just like a nice trend, right?
Right.
And so that's obviously the number one thing we look for.
Well, I know you mentioned that one of the ways that you make additional money is copying some of those good traders. Do you copy them in sim? Do you copy them live or both?
Yeah, we have an API that can copy them either way. Yeah.
Either way.
And we make sure that it's, you know, in a liquid enough market to not impact the order, you know?
Right. Sure.
So if somebody's trading NQ, we're probably not copying them, right?
Right.
Because it's not liquid. Somebody's trading ES, it's not gonna have any impact if we do like, you know, 2 contracts and they do 1, you know, that type thing. So, and then, but yeah, we do over the sim, we may copy them, you know, like on a 1-to-1 on NQ, you know, if they're doing well before we move them over to prop. So we just have an API that can pull them over and put the trades on in one of our mini sub accounts. So,
okay. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. If somebody's doing well, we got to do something to be able to pay them out, right?
Yeah.
So
well, that kind of gets to my next question then.
Yeah.
I talked about the multiple accounts. Do you find that traders that have multiple accounts get better payouts?
Yeah. Well, the ones that make the most money do.
Okay.
So, you know, they're able to handle it. I mean, some of them have 3, some of them have 5, some of them have 20, you know?
All right.
And we had one guy, I think he has 20 accounts and he just made $1,500 and we just paid him out like 35 grand, you know? He just made $1,500 in each account, you know?
Yeah.
So not some astronomical number, just multiplying it. So yeah, I'd say the traders that make the most money are the ones that have multiple accounts. I mean, we do have one trader we paid out this month like 80 grand. He only has one account. So, but the majority of the traders that are pulling out the most money are multiple account traders.
Because you've got one page on your Apex Funding site that kind of shows the payouts like over the last couple months or so.
Yeah, if you scroll to the bottom, there's a link for payouts.
I'll go down there and I'll look, and it's got a name, and you'll see like 5, 6, 8 accounts with the same name and 1,500 each one. You're like, dog, he's he's pulling some money out of those multiple. And you see many times the names are, in there a few times. So I'm like, I think multiple accounts are something for really to hammer down.
Yeah. I mean, it's no harder than trading one account. You just do got to keep an eye on your positions and your orders in case a trade doesn't get filled on one side or the other, so that way you can cancel it out, if need be.
Right.
But, I mean, we talk about that in the video. We tell to watch that. So, but just keep your, positions and, orders open. So that way you can monitor those while you're trading just the one account.
Okay. All right. This is probably the toughest question you're going to get from me today. And this is one of the questions that's really about the only thing now that people have like any trouble understanding. And they're worried about. It's this 30% consistency rule. I know it's not applied during evaluation accounts, but it is applied during a PA account.
Okay.
Can you explain the 30% consistency rule? And
yeah, no problem. I mean, people make a lot bigger deal out of this than it actually is of what it's there for. So first of all, the 30% rule is not there to penalize consistent traders that are following a system. Okay. It's there to protect Apex and therefore all of its customers against scammers, schemers, gamblers, windfall traders.
Right. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's because we got to protect ourselves so we can, pay you out. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you have a strategy or a system that trades day to day. You have consistent entry rules, stops, trailing exits, whatever. If you're a consistent trader, it is statistically impossible not to have big days or have a runner. Do you agree with that? Like you're going to have, like, if you're consistent, you're going to have some days where you make a crap load of money. Okay. So it's going to happen. And we're all about that. Like, we're awesome. High fives, that's good trading. Let's keep going. Somebody may make 309, then 200, then 409, then lose 300, then make 400. Then they catch a runner and they make $2,500. Does the 30% rule apply to you if that happens to you? No, it does not. You were trading, you were consistent, you caught a runner. We like that. We want that. Okay. So congrats. Like, we're all about that. All right. So let me just make that really clear. And we talk about this on the video on the website that talks about it. So, if you're a trader following the system and it's working and your numbers are working, our PA contract specifically addresses this. Our consistency rules specifically address this. We are looking to fund out disciplined, consistent traders that follow consistent strategy or system. But now let's say your day is where you made $2.50. And then day 2, you made $2.50. Day 3, you made $2.50. Day 4, you made $12,000. Okay. Right. Then you went back and now you're making $2.50 or $25, $25, whatever, But you have one day where you made $12,000, and now you're all trying to do is do a withdrawal strategy, not a trading strategy.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And remember, what are we looking for to put people in live accounts? We're looking for consistent traders. Well, how can we possibly put somebody in a consistent trading account that makes $12,000 one day and makes $2 to $25 the rest of the days?
Right.
So that's not really a trading strategy. That's a lucky windfall strategy where it's blindly risking our money, and it's not a trading strategy.
Yeah, it's not.
In that case, the 30% rule would apply. Now, if they start trading consistently, the strategy laid out, it won't take long for them to show their consistency and be able to withdraw that money. So we don't just say you're not going to get money. Okay, we just say, hey, you got to bring it up to 30%. Because we can tell pretty easy by looking at an equity graph what somebody's doing. It's not a secret. It's not a surprise. We don't have any kind of thing that pops up and says, oh, they made more than 30% in one day. We're not looking at that as a hard number. Right. We do take a look at the equity graph every time before we do a payout. And then if we have to, we dig deeper.
Okay. Yep.
So does that make sense? Do you see the difference between the two?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know I see people all the time that try to trade news, and they'll go in and like, okay, I think it's going to be long today, and I'm going to hit 5 contracts long, and I'm going to let it ride. And if I'm hit it right, then good. I did well, and you know, especially in evaluations, that seems to where I see it the most. And as soon as they get to a funded account, they try the exact same thing, and someone might get lucky. But
right,
you know, it's not going to.
Well, that doesn't benefit both of us in the long run. It's not going to benefit them in the long run.
Right. They may get one payday out of it potentially, and you're talking that's a minuscule percent that's even going to get to that. And yeah, I see how it protects you, and I think it's pretty wise. And it's a rule that you know what the rule is, and where I've seen some other prop firms that they have a consistency rule, but they don't really explain what it is. And
right.
At least
and our rule is not like a hard and fast math rule. It's about, you know, any trader that has a trading consistent strategy literally doesn't need to worry about the 30% rule.
Right.
It's literally only for scammers, schemers, or those trying to get lucky windfalls that need to be worried about the rule.
Right. Okay.
So they're looking for lucky windfalls and, you know, trying to do a payout strategy and not build a long-term relationship, then yeah, that's going to come into play.
Okay.
It's sort of the same goes with there's a 20% flipping rule that people don't even know about, it seems like. And it goes along the same lines. We're looking for ongoing consistent traders, not traders that just flip a contract. So we do allow people, like, you know, you may have a day where you're just busy and you just got to hop in and hop out to get your day.
Right.
And so that's not a big deal. But if somebody has like 80% of their days where they're flipping contracts, then they're just that's a withdrawal strategy, not a trading strategy. And how can we duplicate that? How can we copy that? How can we put that into live accounts if we can't see consistency?
Okay.
So, you know, we have almost 1.3 million in payouts in January alone. A ton of those payouts had over 30% in a single day. A lot of them.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter. They trade consistently, and if they trade consistently, they're going to catch runners. They're going to have big days, and that's what it's all about. So we paid out, you know, I don't know, we paid out a ton. And like I said, over 6 million last year, over 1 million this month. And so we're obviously not trying to stop people from getting payouts.
Right.
We're just trying to protect the company and get people to be consistent traders. And if they're consistent, we're not going to worry about them being over 30% on a day.
Okay. Well, appreciate you answering that tough question. And you're very upfront about it. So I think everyone should be just comfortable knowing exactly what they need to do. And it's probably not going to have any effect on majority of the traders.
Yeah, and this is on our website in the FAQ too. I'm not saying anything that's not there. So.
Right. All right. Well, since we had a tough question, let's get something that's a little bit more brighter looking, which is looking into 2023. Is there anything that you can share with us that you're working on? Anything that you foresee coming down that traders could see some changes? Anything you're able to share? I know there's some things you probably can't share, but is there anything you can help us?
Tell you the 2 projects we're working on right now are end of day plans.
Oh, yes.
And so those are not far off at all.
Wow.
Okay. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
And we also are now beta testing Trade-Evate. So we're having to work with them to get some of the reports where they need to be. Because we do everything in an automated pilot. If you're a small company with like 100 customers, you can do everything manually. Okay. But if you're the size we are, you got to have everything on automation. That's how people like sign up, get their PA like within like minutes after signing their contract.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't take like 3 or 4 days. Like we build everything to be automated. Because I think that's best serves the customer. They passed, they qualified, they want their PA, they want to start making, accumulating their days to get their payout. So yeah, we got Trade-Evate and TradingView are going to be coming online soon. So as far as how soon, I can't tell you because we're just having to get all the API stuff. Like we've been waiting 2 weeks for them to fix the report. So that just put us on hold for 2 weeks. And there's nothing we can do to speed it up. So, but they're supposed to have that done hopefully this week. And then that'll, that's one piece. And then we just go through it all. And we have some traders we've invited on to test it out. And don't ask if you can be on the team because it's already full. But they're just testing. They're just beta. So the accounts don't count towards anything. They're just helping us out. And but we're making sure all the systems work, that all the drawdowns work correctly, that the trailings work correctly, that the size works correctly, that the resets work correctly, that it provisions you to PA correctly. All that stuff.
Right.
So
that's fantastic news to hear.
yeah. So those are the two big things that we have coming out this year. So like I said, the end of the day is pretty close. The trade debate, I don't know. I mean, it could be weeks, it could be a couple months. So
Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right. Well, it's great to see how you give us options to potentially choose, and you keep adding options. So thank you for that.
You bet.
I know those are probably the two most requested things we get. Is there another platform that we can use? Because NinjaTrader is an excellent platform, but sometimes it can be a little overwhelming for new traders.
Yeah.
And I've heard, Mac users like, well, I can't use NinjaTrader, and
right.
And this will give them a web-based platform that anybody will be able to use and get started on. And I'm not sure most people know NinjaTrader owns Trade8, so
yeah,
they're working together as kind of a new company between the two of them, and I think it only leads to a bright future for everyone.
That's part of what's taking it longer, is because we've had to work with them while they're working with it, like sort of, it's almost like with like two different groups, right?
Right.
But they've helped streamline everything. They've been great, and it's just taken a little while to get everything done. But they're working with us because we're having to build it to deal with size.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, when you
turn on,
we offer it, we may have 10,000 people, literally 10,000 accounts in 24 hours.
Right.
So we have to make sure everything is working flawlessly before we launch it. So
great. This may be something you may know or not know, but if you get Trade8, you go down the Trade8 option. Would you have the choice of using NinjaTrader like on your desktop, and if you travel, you could then use the browser and use Trade8?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That is great, because I have one laptop I travel on that I don't have NinjaTrader on. I carry a couple with me, but sometimes I just don't want to load all my same charts I have at home on my laptop that I go with, and it'll be nice to have a web-based option.
So you'll be able to switch back and forth. Yeah.
All right.
And TradingView, which is very popular. So
I pretty much finished with all the types of questions I have, but I just wanted to do a little fun rapid fire question.
Okay, what you got?
So I really don't want you to think much, just kind of whatever comes off with the top of your head.
Okay.
And then we can wrap it up. But so if you could trade one futures product for the rest of your life, which one would you choose?
NASDAQ.
Okay. Do you prefer to trade from the short side or long side?
I prefer short.
Okay.
Goes faster.
When you started, did you ever blow up an account?
Oh yeah, many times.
Okay. What's your favorite car?
Favorite car that I own or that I want?
Either way.
Okay, well, that I want a Lamborghini Diablo. So I've always wanted one since I was a kid. Problem is I live on a really rocky dirt road and it would destroy it.
Yeah.
So favorite car that I own a Lincoln Navigator. It is very comfortable. So
yes. Yeah, I have an Expedition, and I need to step up to Navigator with the nice cushioned ride.
Oh man, I got the massage seats in the front and the back. I mean, it's amazing.
All right, when you trade, what time frame do you kind of mostly use?
On my simplicity charts, I use 32nd.
Okay.
And then on my sniper charts, there is no time frame. It's based on bar size. So it prints a new bar every 10 ticks.
Okay. All right. And last question. And I want to thank you. You have given our Facebook group a chance for a free 50K account.
Yeah.
And one of the questions I asked that they comment on in order to qualify was, is the S&P going to break last year's October low this year in 2023? Well, how do you answer that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I can't wait to get the results of everything and see what the percentages are. But I would say it's 75% people think yes anyway at the moment. So thank you for allowing us a chance to give away accounts. I know just during this last sale that just closed off yesterday. Was it yesterday? The 80% sale, was it yesterday?
Yes.
Yes, it ended yesterday. That you're giving away another like $1 million worth of PA accounts and things.
Yeah. So we're posting that up on YouTube either today or tomorrow. So
okay. And people find out if they won or not. But just to see how generous you are, and giving back and giving people an opportunity just to have a chance to win and experience it. If they don't have money and they get a chance to win, that's great. So thank you for that. And thank you for helping us little retail traders out here in the world. And we look forward to working with you in 23 and beyond.
Me too. Thank you for the time, and thank you for the interview. That was awesome.
All right, Darrell, you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for coming on, and hope to talk to you in the future. Maybe we can meet someday.
You bet. Definitely.
All right. Take care.
All right. You too. Bye.
I really had a fun time interviewing Darrell. I was very nervous about the interview. I'm not one to like to really be online. I'm not a content creator. I'm just a trader. So, but I kind of had a little fun interviewing him. And again, thank you, Darrell, for coming on. Appreciate the time that you took out to stop by and endure some questions. Thank you for the 50K evaluation count, just to show everybody once again. If you, the link to the Facebook group is below. If you go and join the Facebook group, there is a post in there for the 50K evaluation account. Just make a comment on that same question that I asked Darrell. Will the S&P break the 2022 lows this year in 2023? If you do that, you'll qualify. I'm going to do a Facebook Live on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern. Give it away. And lastly, there was one other thing where I talked about when I said that the Apex, the trading with multiple accounts. If you're on the Apex site and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, let's see if this will show up here. There's under useful links, there's one that's called payouts. And you start scrolling through here and you see how these multiple accounts really pay off. We have Caitlin here of Fleshier, Texas, 2 withdrawals of $27.50. Look at rolling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 account withdrawals of $2,000. That's 10 grand right there. Terrence here. Quang right here. Also a bunch of accounts. Oh my gosh, look at all the accounts he's got. He's killing it. Quang's killing it. Vivian has 3 accounts. Joshua. It goes on. So the multiple accounts, there is something to that multiple account thing. And I've been testing the multiple accounts this past week. So I do need to do a video on the multiple accounts and how it's working for me. But thank you, Darrell, for coming on once again. I appreciate it. And as always, come to the Facebook groups, check it out. I try to post all the sales each day and answer people's questions and try to make money myself. So take care, everybody. Peace out. See you next time.